Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of Beauty from Ashes series at the moment that I'm creating on this channel. As you are fully aware, I was talking about in the last one over about the series of knowing your worth circle. Now this one is basically for the woman out there pretty much that I really want to share right now, that has touched my heart right now, based on how we should be dressing up to impress the guys and stuff, regardless, if we should look slutty ho and stuff, as well as some of the messages that is hidden in the bulletin board, how we should dress, act, speak, and whatever it may be. So this topic is called Woman Be a Woman. It goes like this: there's something missing in this world today for every young girl and woman today. There's special touch that we have that, regardless of a hug, a kiss, most of these touches are faded out and fading so fast in every way. No longer and more are these young girls and women are confident in their looks, feel of how they should, branch out, as well as their shape. They only have to have what society and the hidden messages from every bulletin board, posters and more have to say. Messages such as, excuse the terminology, yeah, I'm a bitch, I can put up my end with your team with the dark lycra skin, I shall fit in no matter what it may be, sort of thing. Yes, I know I can be proud and loud, so be it, this is the way I'm going to be the bitch that's here and now. But when did all this become so fine for all these labels and mentality on what society today reads to us and obviously portrayed to us young women and girls today? But when did this help to say, basically, obviously, what it is of these labels is fine into the eyes of the Hollywood versus society, showing us that, what is fading in this world of age today. When did all this become fine? However, to become these labels of society today is now showing us and possessing us to what is to become, or is becoming, of that sort of being that we are not. Morals and values of what we used to have and know on so much close to our heart is now thrown out the window, regardless what it may be. Tendencies of, obviously, of the repercussions of what we have to do and say, think, despite all these hidden messages across the bulletin board, as well as in the eyes and minds of the guys that has these high expectations of us, of what we should look like, speak and think and act in their everyday and age, even though, as I've said so many times before, all these hidden messages and agendas and all that pretty much of the media affects both men and women. However, basically the morals and values today, however, of what we used to know and grasp, have grown out of, pretty much has just gone out of touch with many of us today. However, since it is now missing pretty much of these meanings and also labels of the self-worth, self-value and more, that has now gone to pass and hasn't now last. When most girls today decide to get some maybe implants to just, for the guys out there, to show off their bust, regardless of what it may be, even though many guys imply that we should have bigger bust, bigger boobs, whatever it may be. But in this day and age, this is not the reality we are living in. What has happened to the days and age of us young females and girls pretty much just sitting there minding our own business, reading books and just getting a high educated value pretty much, and then educating with bigger brains instead of looking down trying to attract the, players or what have you. In this day and age, just having the bigger bust and bigger boobs and stuff, even though now with the male's heart is all about basically the bigger bust, bigger moves equals lasting through us, through the way we look, regardless if we don't feel real in ourselves, based on our insecurities, doubts of how we may feel, despite of the levels of these labels that pretty much has come into our mind. We need to basically go on and hello. Young girls with tattoos, however, from the neck down on children's arms, just to fit in the crowd, just to be the real deal, or basically the real ideal beauty in this day and age. No way, Jose, is this going to work in this day and age. Living a lifestyle likable just to run and hit it, regardless, no matter how many rounds we go with these guys that just can make it once and once only and just drop us like we just don't make it ourselves. So be it, it's like goodbye, I've just had a one night of Santa, I'm proud to know you, Now it's time to just turn around and find another one, just to prove to you girls that, you know, I'm not the one for you. Breaking our hearts, breaking our dreams, breaking out every possibility of what we thought would have, could have, or should have been with that guy that we thought was really loved and respected us for who and what we are. Living a lifestyle, however, pretty much with these young girls, pretty much, and young women saying loud and proud to themselves, you know, fuck love, pretty much, if guys can do what they want, whenever they want, say what they want, then sure, why can't we be the same? Why not? But many of us young women and girls, however, pretty much tend to forget what life is all about. Being a real woman is the most powerful weapon in this day and age and source, pretty much, of what we have and what we've got. No matter what it is, pretty much, that many people tend to just, you know, especially the young girls and guys, you know, young women pretty much tends to just lose their ways, obviously, just to be, you know, something else that they're not, so to speak. Put on the makeup and putting on everything and just hiding out, you know, all these imperfections and insecurities and whatever else that may be. You know, pretty much, where is the power, however? Obviously, it is in the mind part, soul, and in our spirits, but of our inner being. Yes, today, many of the young girls and women today are getting confused with this by just thinking what's lying between in their legs, pretty much. Little do they know that that's a little weapon of destruction, pretty much, that can cause a little bit of self-hate and all that as well. And also when that time comes, pretty much, obviously, you know, as I said, many guys might think as if they just played around our minds, hearts, souls, whatever. Can't get they're on to another girl, not wanting to take the responsibility, even if a baby was on the agenda, or just pretty much just their unplanned, unexpected and whatnot, which is pretty much really sad. Pretty much also, if they are not using pretty much what is in the right way, obviously, by using it with proper instructions, young girls and women pretty much, obviously, will rather fill in there with a hot temper, no degree, and gets the business of a gentleman who will offer what they really need, regardless what it may be, just to fulfill that emptiness, be it, you know, they want their love, trust, and whatnot through that guy. But, you know, in all fairness, it doesn't always come that way. Obviously, there's not many guys now out there that's obviously going to show us the real deal, even though I'm trying to prove to myself, or actually say to myself day in day out, that there should be guys that will actually respect us and everything else, and hopefully share the same values and morals, no matter what it may be, you know. Yet, yes, we are one of the ones that can attract these kind of men that plays with our hearts, minds, souls, and whatever else it may be. But that's not our fault. It's just how who and what we attract. These young girls and women, however, are choosing to be maybe strippers and, you know, one-night standers. You know, another one is title, which I hate using, prostitute, pretty much. Well, I'll just put it out there, pretty much. And not choosing wanting to maybe go to college and learn some sort of degree and pretty much actually be who they really want to be, regardless what it may be. You know, they don't realise that life is just living it in the now is only for temporary, of the likes of basically, you know, being a stripper and all that. No one can take away your knowledge, however, but yourself, if you choose to, regardless how we think, act and stuff. As I said before, many hidden messages and agendas in the media versus the basically just strip us down to be a nothing, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter to them, however, because brothers are talking about themselves in songs that aren't seeking us in the future of their plans, be it, you know, like I said, many guys just play around with our hearts, souls and minds. But some of them also maybe are looking for women who are strong-minded, has the goals in life, and basically know what they want, when they want, and want to succeed in that. And some guys will probably tend to come up and things. So, as I'm saying here, so, young ladies and girls, listen up. Where we travel, or where do we go from here and here on in? Where being the bitches is a new thing, and a good thing is where being right or wrong, pretty much. We have to raise the daughters, if we've got any kids, to know the differences between love and lust, however. And that the beauty is in their hearts and not in the bust, however, pretty much. How far do we have to go before we become a hoe, before a guy doesn't even know or even want to know us by our name, but will be to become determined that we are nothing and make us feel nothing, sort of thing, even if they are feeling insecure about themselves, these guys. And society has want to know your name. I mean, has washed you up with false messages to make you then believe the very same thing before you show your body and not your brains to these guys. How far do you have to go and get this far to start hitting on one another, and in fact that letting and getting beauty to be better than each other? Some of the sayings that we think, or even the messages that we come across today: I'm better to be skinny, I'm better to be thick, I'm better to be, cool, I'm better to be hip. Yet the truth is, this is just a feature, and it doesn't mean you have to become or be a bitch. So girls, grow to be a woman that knows your worth, knows how to stand up on yourself and stand out to accept yourselves, and how to love yourself and more. Not being all the bitches that are out there and the hoes, sluts that you see out on the street, be it, regardless how they act and treat others around us. We need to remember that we're God's gift to man, to real men's hearts, and not a tool to fulfill lust sort of thing. If you really can't see our own worth and true beauty within ourselves of being a woman, we are truly missing out on the opportunity of a blessing that has been given to us to actually give upon the one and only once that life comes. So ladies, respect everything about you. That ends of pretty much Woman Be a Woman, which I hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and whatever. Comments, don't be shy. Pretty much I've got something on, like an idea of a message for me to share that maybe you're going through, and if you want me to, I'll do this. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.